Hi guys, welcome back. Chef Andrew here. So today we're gonna do our wild rice dish. It's kind of a riff off of the wild rice soup. When I was a little kid, if anybody remembers Dayton's department stores, I used to go there with my mom when I was a little kid. Go down to the bottom floor called Boundary Waters. It was a restaurant and have some awesome wild rice soup. So my mom always she'd make it for us. Mine's a little bit different. It's not really a soup. It's more of kind of a hearty side dish, or it could be its own entree. So to start, the base for our wild rice dish is a mirepoix. If anybody doesn't know what mirepoix is, it's carrot, onion, celery. Small dice up. It's gonna really kind of help flavor the soup. Most stocks, soups, everything like that are flavored with the mirepoix. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut out celery. Pull some of the leafy greens out, trim it up. So it's all uniform pieces. So this is all the celery we need. Dice it up. So now we're gonna do our onions. A real good chef, one of the ones that trained me, was Ken Goff from the Cordon Bleu. And there was a lot of like procedural things that he thought were an overstep, I would almost say, that some chefs did. So he taught me how to dice an onion. A lot of chefs will go this way a bunch of times and then do it that way, and then he goes, you know, your onion already kind of has cuts in it made for you just by the layers, so you only need to go one direction, otherwise you're just wasting time. Last item for the mirepoix is your carrots. All right, let's talk about rice real quick before we start sweating off our mirepoix. So I've got my wild rice and I've got my white rice. I think the flavor of wild rice can be really strong sometimes, so I like to cut it with some of the white rice flavor. Texturally, they work really well together too. I cook these ahead of time. So I would put your wild rice in the oven maybe earlier in the day. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to cook a certain amount of rice, so you don't want to be trying to fiddle with that when you're frying off all of your mirepoix. So put that back off to the side. And last item we're gonna put there is our garlic. Because we love that sweet garlic flavor. Let's start sweating our vegetables. So first thing, olive oil on the bottom of a pan. Put it on heat. I like to get it on some high heat just to get it warmed up faster. I'll take it off, throw my vegetables in, start sweating them, and then put it down on a lower temperature. You want to sweat on a low temperature, even heat, and move frequently to literally do it to it. It's making it sweat out its flavor. Some people can do it too high heat, and then you're just kind of burning them. And then there's caramelizing your mirepoix out. Also, that should be done over a longer period of time on a medium heat. Anybody that says they can caramelize vegetables really quick is just burning them. You're not getting that deep caramel flavor. So I think our pan's getting hot, ready to put in this mirepoix. Perfect. Just a little sizzle. Carrots, onions, celery, garlic go in the pot. All right, so now our mirepoix's been sweating out for about 5 minutes. Let's take it over and look at it. Looking really good. Smelling wonderful. So the next thing we start to do is building our dish. So the first thing I'm gonna put in is some herbs, a little thyme fresh. I don't mind the flavor of dry thyme either. It's a different flavor, and I like fresh for this one. There's just something about the smell of thyme that I love. That's good with that. Give it a little mix around, and just that little bit of heat is gonna help release some of the oils inside of the thyme. Next thing we're gonna put in is our wild rice and regular rice. So I'm gonna take my wild rice, put it in there. Take my white rice, put it in there, like so. Take some salt to season. You can go a little generous on the salt. Rice is a starchy vegetable like that. Potatoes, all those can really love salt and make stuff taste good. Give it a good mix around. Now we're gonna hit it with our heavy cream. Heavy cream goes in. It's actually gonna take quite a bit of heavy cream. Kind of make it its own sauce. probably put in about a quart of cream. Or 2 cups would probably work as well too. But then let's put it back on some heat. All right, so our cream is starting to reduce on our wild rice dish. The one little curveball I'm gonna throw you in is we have some short rib. It's pre-braised. I actually had some left over, so I'm gonna use it for this. It's great little addition to your wild rice dish. So if you have some pot roast left over, you can use chicken. You could even render some crispy bacon off in like little cubes, put that in there too, that'd be delicious. But we have short ribs today, so we're just gonna cut off some pieces. Let's take our short ribs, throw them in, and now we're just gonna start folding. If you don't know what folding is, it's literally how it sounds. You're gonna take it from one end and fold over the top. That's gonna try and stop a lot of your ingredients from smashing, well, really just the short rib, but other ones as well. If you do other, folding's really popular for like a whipped cream, egg whites. You're always folding. I want to do that here too. I don't want to just stir and mash it up because it's just gonna make it, you're gonna have pulled beef in there instead of some nice, tender, chunky pieces of short rib. Put it on there. Those pieces were cold, so we're gonna put it back on there now. Let it come up to the right temp, and then we have one more secret ingredient we're gonna throw in at the end. So the final little surprise ingredient is peas. Now, I take my peas really serious. I don't know how you take them. I don't like frozen or canned peas. So what we have here are fresh peas, shucked English peas, and they're hard. They're so sweet, and they just have this great earthy sweetness. So I always get fresh peas. They'll kind of change the way you think about stuff, and they're gonna kind of keep this great kind of rustic, crunchy texture that I love. And those don't need much cooking either. We're literally gonna pour them in there and let the residual liquid and heat that's in there cook them all they need. No more than that. Put those in there. All right, so let's plate this up and see how it tastes. So the first thing we're gonna do, I found a good old big chunk of beef. Some short rib right there. Let's get a big old chunk of that. Get some peas, get some beef. Don't burn yourself, it's a little hot. So good. And you don't have to go as heavy as I did on the cream. You can cut that back if you don't want it so heavy. I love it because I love rich. If it's not citrus, it's fat. Those are the two of my favorite things. So go home, try this dish for you guys for yourself, and let me know. Thank you.